This week on ANN, the General Conference Administrative Committee embraces unity.
In Jamaica, Adventists are challenged to focus on the church's mission and distractions.
And Adventists help in the cleanup after devastating floods hit India.
These stories and more coming up. Thank you so much for joining us this week.
First in the news, the General Conference Administrative Committee, or ADCOM, of the Seventh-day Adventist Church recently took action to further support and embrace the unity of the global church and to complement church policies already in place.
On July 17, 2018, the General Conference ADCOM established 5 compliance committees to serve unity, helping retain voted church beliefs and operating procedures and process.
The establishment of the 5 compliance committees resulted from 2 primary expressions of the world church.
First, a worldwide survey conducted by the Church's Office of Archives, Statistics, and Research of Church leaders, including all union presidents, showed strong support for some type of consequences for entities not in compliance with voted actions of GC sessions and of the GC Executive Committee.
And second, for several years, General Conference Executive Committee members have observed that non-compliance to GC session and Executive Committee actions can be found in several areas of church practice and operation. Repeatedly, questions have been posed asking why church leadership has not addressed these issues. This action by ADCOM responds to those concerns.
The purpose of these committees is to have a group of qualified people, upon the recommendation of GC ADCOM, look into reported non-compliant practices.
The goal of each committee is to focus the church on its mission and message, using a redemptive approach to achieve church unity. In addressing compliance issues, this model could also be adopted by other levels of church organization.
As explained in the vote taken by the GC ADCOM, the subcommittee process begins with a referral from the GC ADCOM and thereafter follows the normal practice of gaining wide input, building majority consensus through the GC ADCOM, General Conference and Division Officers, and the General Conference Executive Committee.
Hinsley Morovin, Secretary of the GC ADCOM, makes this prayerful appeal. What we really need is to have the church be found on their knees, praying for the Holy Spirit to draw us together. Regardless of where on the continuum we've come from, we have a mission and we have a message, and that needs to become the focus of the church. That is the appeal of the leadership of the General Conference, of the divisions, unions, conferences, pastors, and members. Let us be on our knees.
For more information on these committees and previous articles on the topic, please visit news.adventist.org.
The Adventist Church president in Jamaica, Everett Brown, challenged newly installed leaders in the Northeast Jamaica region to make the community and people their main object of the church's mission. The Adventist leader's charge stands out against the backdrop of a series of murders committed against women and children in the country. Brown said that in pursuit of mission, leaders should accept responsibility to care for the sick, the poor, the socially disadvantaged, and the vulnerable in society. He also told ceremony attendees that the goal of the church is to change and transform lives. Although not making a direct reference, Brown's comments come on the heels of the suspected suicide of 59-year-old Adventist deacon Linton Stevenson, who was sought in connection with the recent murder of 25-year-old Kyhem Campbell. Stevenson, a church deacon at the Mandeville Seventh-day Adventist Church in Manchester, was on parole following his release from prison for a previous murder conviction, according to police reports. He was also wanted for illegal possession of a firearm. A day before Stevenson was found dead last week, Brown condemned the alleged murder and appealed for the individual to turn himself in to the police.
We recently reported about flooding in India that caused the evacuation of more than 1 million people and left more than 300 dead. 3,200 relief camps have opened to help shelter and feed evacuees. Now we're hearing that Adventist churches in India, especially the churches in Kerala, are actively involved in post-flood relief work. All the regions in southwest India have sent local church members to join relief efforts to participate in raising funds and distribute relief material to help people begin to rebuild their lives. Hope TV in India sent a van with medicine and supplies, and the Adventist Development and Relief Agency is working to send supplies, clothes, and food to the impacted regions. We will be back with more information, and we ask for your continued prayers for the people in India.
A local Seventh-day Adventist church in El Salvador recently completed the Miramonte Adventist Shelter, which offers hospitality accommodations for parents whose children are receiving inpatient care at a nearby hospital in the capital city of San Salvador. Dozens of church and community members recently took part in the inauguration ceremony for the shelter. Participants unveiled plans to benefit dozens of families who travel from far away to bring their children to nearby Benjamin Bloom National Children's Hospital. The hospital is the only pediatric hospital in the nation that assists low-income families in El Salvador. Church leaders say the new facility will provide a safe, clean, temporary shelter to parents as well as a few meals, daily worship services, and more. The shelter can accommodate 30 people and 1 baby. The shelter is working closely with the hospital to accommodate needy families. Adventist congregations have committed to donating food and clothes according to the needs of those who stay in the shelter. Members of the Miramonte Adventist Church will oversee the management of the shelter in partnership with the Metropolitan Conference in El Salvador to deal with utility expenses, maintenance, human resources, worship services, and more. Shelter staff will also connect interested families with local Adventist congregations in their area after their return to their homes. Church leaders plan to expand services in the shelter in the coming months as finances become available.
Maranatha Volunteers International's annual mission trip for high school teenagers, Ultimate Workout, recently finished its 28th generation in Bolivia.
A total of 167 teens and adults served at 4 locations in the Entre Rios area from July 18 to 30.
Maranatha Volunteers sent more information about this amazing event.
In July, Maranatha Volunteers International kicked off its 28th year of Ultimate Workout, an annual mission trip for teenagers. This year's group headed into Bolivia, where a team of 167 volunteers renovated a local church and constructed classrooms at the Entre Rios Seventh-day Adventist School. At one time, the Entre Rios School had more than 400 students, but in recent years, the government has been building new schools in the area, and the enrollment at Entre Rios dwindled to 162. The new classrooms and other improvements, coordinated by Maranatha, will help the school to provide improved facilities for current students while drawing new families to the campus. In addition to construction, the young volunteers organized several outreach activities, including children's ministries and medical outreach. Working with professionals, the teens on the medical team assisted with health screenings and dental care. They also distributed reading glasses to more than 550 patients. The Ultimate Workout welcomes teens in high school to sign up for an unforgettable adventure, where participants spend 2 weeks serving Adventist communities around the world. The teens are asked to unplug, simplify, and focus on God. The impact? 18 baptisms and a lot of changed lives.
Being able to serve and impact other people really helped me change my own life, and that's something I'll never forget.
Maranatha's Ultimate Workout started in 1990. Since then, more than 3,800 volunteers have participated in this special program.
Coming up, a new resource is coming for Adventist filmmakers and storytellers.
But up next, Lifestyle TV in Sweden gets new headquarters, and the story is pretty miraculous.
We may look, pray, read, think, worship, sing, and share differently, but we all look forward to the Sabbath, and we all look forward to the future when Jesus will come again. With this message in mind, we arrived at a core component for a new identity system: the creation grid, a simple 7-column structure for layout. The grid is a reference both to the prophetic timeline as well as to the creation week that culminated in the 7th-day Sabbath. Regardless of what or where you are designing, you can always find information to help you communicate that we are all 7th-day Adventists.
Welcome back.
300 guests celebrated the miracle story at the recent opening of Lifestyle TV's new headquarters at Haga Garden, Sweden.
Seventh-day Adventist leaders joined guests in rural Sweden for the opening of a new headquarters for Lifestyle TV, a supporting media ministry, and to celebrate the remarkable story of how its Adventist founder turned an opera singer's mansion into a television studio to proclaim Jesus' soon return in Scandinavia.
The Adventist Church in Trans-Europe sent this report.
This is a very special moment for me personally.
Det här är ett väldigt speciellt tillfälle för mig personligen.
And for Lifestyle TV.
Och för Lifestyle TV.
And I really believe for all of God's church.
Och jag tror verkligen för hela Guds församling.
What a great opportunity Lifestyle TV has to fit into God's expectations of lifestyle reaching into the homes of literally thousands of people in Scandinavia. I personally have great expectations for this wonderful media ministry. The Lord is going to use it in a powerful way as it works with the church, with church members in a supporting ministry role.
One of my big dreams is to see our different units and entities, our churches, our pastors, our members working together in this media age. And this is so important that we actually pull all our gifts and talents to work together. And Lifestyle, Hope Channel, other media, internet, Trans-European Division, different union groups are all working together, and I see that wonderfully.
God needs us sometimes to answer some prayers. Gud behöver oss för att svara på vissa böner. To realize some visions. För att uppfylla en viss vision.
To show that we stand shoulder to shoulder.
It's a joy to be here at Lifestyle TV today to see a new facility, a bigger facility that can help make God known across this part of Europe, and maybe even for people that speak Swedish, Norwegian, Danish, and even the programs in English right around the world. We want to see God's wonderful message being made better known across Europe.
For 70 years, he prayed, and he died without seeing a huge answer. And I'm just excited to know that Lifestyle TV is here in Värmland now, because it's the answer to his prayer. And all the work that he tried to do, the Lord had a different way, and the Lord took care of it in a marvelous way. And we're excited that Lifestyle TV will be the beacon in Värmland that my dad had always hoped and prayed for.
To read more about this miraculous story, visit AdventistMission.org.
Recently, 4 media ministries, 8 uniquely skilled crews from 5 countries, a professional Moroccan production team, and 165 local actors and extras came together on the acclaimed biblical film set of the Moroccan city Ouarzazate to pull off a massive production of the Book of Daniel. This is the second production by a Seventh-day Adventist team in Ouarzazate. In 2013, the General Conference's Corporate Prayer Series was shot for the Revival and Reformation Initiative. This year's project saw Adventist Review Ministries partnering with 3 other Adventist media ministries, Little Light Studios from the United States, The Incredible Journey from Australia, and Sid Media from South Africa to film and photograph key aspects of the life of Daniel and make this media available for sale to Christian producers, media ministries, pastors, teachers, and evangelists. The Daniel focus was chosen for its significance to the Adventist message, as well as the many relevant lessons to be drawn from Daniel's life. Gary Kent, director of the Incredible Journey Media Ministry in Australia, said, "We live in the digital age. Our challenge is to communicate God's message in an appealing and relevant way. Reenacting, filming, and photographing the Book of Daniel is a way to bring this important story to life." Here is a sample of some of the scenes.
More than 70% of people in the West Africa region are Muslim. In order to find ways to reach the people there, Global Mission Director for the region, Kasul Zakari, organized a training session for pastors earlier this month.
Zakari invited leaders from the headquarters of the Seventh-day Adventist Church to West Africa's headquarters located in Côte d'Ivoire to train pastors and evangelists in reaching people of the Muslim faith.
The theme of the meeting was training the trainers. In his address, the president of the Adventist Church in West Africa encouraged all participants to be focused and result-oriented in their respective fields.
The goal of this gathering is to learn new methods of reaching out to the non-Adventist community.
Coming up, Emily Mastrapa is here to tell us about a new way to tell your story on Facebook.
But up next, Adventist Mission shares how the Adventist Church in Korea is working to share Jesus with their territory.
Welcome back.
Adventists in this Korean city care deeply for the elderly population.
From picnics to rebuilding homes for free, church members are doing what they can to benefit this community.
Adventist Mission has more.
With more than 1.5 billion people, the Northern Asia-Pacific region faces some of the most difficult mission challenges in the world. It is the most populated territory in the Seventh-day Adventist Church and includes some of the world's largest cities. Metropolises such as Tokyo, Seoul, Shanghai, and Beijing host millions of people who have not been reached by the gospel message. Reaching these vast cities seems daunting, and the work in territories like North Korea is even more difficult to measure. Despite these challenges, Seventh-day Adventist Church members are working hard to share the light of Jesus throughout this land. South Korea is a rapidly growing country in the Northern Asia-Pacific region. As the population increases, so do the needs of the people. South Korea has embraced the idea of opening urban centers of influence to reach various communities, social classes, and age groups. One church congregation has decided to reach the elderly population in their city. Seniors are a large demographic here, and church members want to show them respect and care. Church members are always looking for new ways to interact with their community. They provide health care and host events such as senior picnics, musical performances, exercise classes, and special meals. One of their biggest projects is repairing houses. They find people whose houses are in need of care and do all the work for free. Through creative forms of outreach, this group has been able to share Jesus with hundreds, if not thousands, of people in their city. Just a few hours outside of Seoul, Sejong is a city soon to be the new center of Korean administration. Many government agencies have moved here, and others plan to relocate here over the next few years. With new construction happening year-round, this city is quickly growing. An Adventist congregation was established in Sejong City about a year ago. Members have been meeting in a space within a commercial building. Over the past 12 months, church membership has more than doubled. Church members know that God is blessing their mission. Shin Young Palm pastored the church for the past year and recently accepted another position in church administration. He has learned a lot about the growing needs and challenges of Sejong City and has shared these insights with the new pastor. The current church's location is difficult for visitors to find and is not an ideal layout for their needs. Church members in Sejong City want to build a mission center to connect with their neighbors and serve the needs in this area.
노령화되는 In these days, the Korean Adventist church members are getting older and older. But there are so many young people in this city, so we have a big mission to reach the young people of the city.
In that building, we will have many rooms, and we can teach many things to our neighbors. For example, we can teach them English, and we can share them health methods, and we can take care of their children.
Creating a mission center like this is no easy task. Property and construction costs are extremely high. To make this dream a reality, church members have given a lot of money, and every pastor in this conference has donated the equivalent to 1 month's salary to contribute to this mission. They look forward to the day they can use the new building to build bridges with the community.
If we don't have this church in this area, many people would not have any chance to know our church and our God.
To share our truth of the gospel, we need to mingle with the people around us.
I hope that the new building is the center of worship for our Adventist church members. But at the same time, I hope that the building will be a center for people in this city to come and take rest in God. And they will do many things in that building.
Please pray as faithful members work in Sejong City. Pray that God will bless them with the strength and understanding they need to reach this growing urban area. Thank you for supporting Mission.
Watch this and other mission stories online by visiting AdventistMission.org, then click videos at the top.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could notify everyone about your upcoming Facebook video story without it having to be live?
Emily Mastrapa is here to tell you about a new way to post your events online.
You've probably heard of Facebook Live, but have you heard about Facebook Premiere? This new feature will allow video creators more opportunities to engage with their audiences. Premiere is a pre-recorded video that debuts on your page as a live stream. It will allow you to launch videos as Facebook Live moments complete with real-time comments, reactions, and interactions. Premiere can help you get people excited about a video or event by giving viewers a specific time to visit your page. It will even send pop-up notifications on when you're premiering that you wouldn't get with regular video posts. There are a few requirements to use Premiere. One is that Premiere can only be published on a business page, not on a personal page. Also, the Premiere option can only be selected when the video is first published. A video that has been uploaded normally cannot be transitioned into a Premiere. Here's how you can schedule a Premiere. First, click the Share Photo or Video on your main page. Then click Upload Photos or Videos. Select the video you want to premiere. Then you fill out when you want the start time to be, and then click Schedule Premiere. Premiere is meant to enhance your video's debut moment. So if you have a business page, try out Premiere next time you want to post a video.
And finally, for today's episode, let's turn to David Trim for a look at Adventist history.
This week, David tells us of a family who served most of their lives in the Far East.
Welcome to This Week in Adventist History. On September 15 in 1873, Emil C. Witzke, educator and missionary, was born. He originally trained to become a Lutheran pastor at Concordia Seminary, where he gained expertise in Greek and Hebrew. But in 1905, aged 22, he and his wife Julia were converted. For almost a year, Emil worked in canvassing and evangelism, but in September 1906, he was appointed to teach modern and ancient languages at Union College, where he served for 4 years. In 1910, he became the first head of the Biblical Languages Department at Clinton Seminary, a German language college that the church had just opened in Missouri. Emil taught there for 11 years until he and Julia accepted a call to work as missionaries in Germany. From 1921 to 1925, they served at Friedensau, the Adventist college in Germany. But increasing ill health led him to accept a call to teach at Broadview Seminary near Chicago, which conducted its classes in German and Swedish. He lived only a year before dying of tuberculosis on June 30, 1926, aged just 52, a victim partly, as his colleagues recognized, of overwork. On September 16, 1895, Ezra Longway was born in the small town of Teresa in New York State. Ezra served as a missionary in the Far East for a remarkable 55 years. He and his wife Inez were called to Thailand in 1919 and served in Southeast Asia for the next few years, where a daughter, Eva, was born. The family was called to China in 1922 and were missionaries there for 40 years. 4 more children, a daughter, Myrtle, and 3 sons were born in China. And here in this photo, you see Ezra, Inez, Eva, and Myrtle from Ezra's passport photo. The Longways remained in China throughout World War II, but after the communist victory in the Chinese Civil War, they moved to Hong Kong. In 1962, Ezra was elected Field Secretary of the Far Eastern Division and was based in Singapore for the next 11 years. Inez died in late 1972, and Ezra remarried to Florence Winton. In early 1974, at the age of 78, Ezra finally retired with Florence to the United States. He lived another 13 years, dying 8 days after his 92nd birthday. That was This Week in Adventist History.
Thanks for watching ANN. Join us next week for more news from the headquarters of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
We'd love to hear from you, so send us your feedback and tell us how your church is making a difference in its community.
Be sure to capture plenty of video footage and photos, then write up a summary of the event's important details. And feel free to send full video reports as well.
You can reach us by sending an email to annvideo11@gmail.com.
Before we say goodbye, here's some good news from the book of 1 Chronicles, chapter 16, verse 11 and 12.
The passage says, "Seek the Lord and his strength. Seek his face evermore. Remember his marvelous works, which he has done, his wonders, and the judgments of his mouth."
Amen. That's our program for this week. And remember, you can always visit news.adventist.org for daily news and videos. Until next time, God bless.
Take care.